Next on Worcester News Tonight, advocates for vote yes on question 3 in Worcester tonight, discussing the importance of the bill. Plus, a local cupcake shop celebrating its 1-year anniversary here in the city. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. The Yes on 3 campaign to uphold Massachusetts transgender non-discrimination law hosting a community town hall in Worcester tonight. In 2016, the Massachusetts legislature passed non-discrimination protection for transgender people in public places. But now it's being challenged. Our Gretchen LaRosa has the story.
I shouldn't have to leave this state or go find a more welcoming place to live simply because someone is uncomfortable with having me in their society here.
Naomi Wixon says, as a transgender woman, she has experienced discrimination in society before the anti-discrimination protection laws for transgender people were in place in Massachusetts. This November, voters will decide 3 questions on the ballot, including question 3, which would keep these protection laws in place.
This is an opportunity for us all to kind of become more educated. We really need to have people not just saying the law supports transgender folks, but that we as a society believe in having transgender people as members of that society.
David Topping, the field director for Yes on 3, says a yes vote would continue to prohibit discrimination against transgender people in public accommodations, including public restrooms and locker rooms. The referendum on the transgender law was passed by the legislature and signed by Baker in 2016.
At the end of the day, we didn't want this to happen. We passed this at the legislature with a bipartisan majority. Governor Baker signed this and showed that folks on both sides of the aisle care about this issue and believe that transgender people deserve dignity and respect.
Keep Mass Safe, a group opposing the law, says they've collected more than 50,000 signatures to officially place a repeal on the November ballot. On the group's website, they say in part, this bill would endanger the privacy and safety of women and children in public bathrooms, locker rooms, dressing rooms, and other intimate places, opening them to whoever wants to be there at any given time, and also to sexual predators who claim confusion about their gender as a cover for their evil intentions. Now, opponents say if it passes, they will return to legislature to get another public accommodations law in the books as soon as possible. Gretchen LaRosa, Worcester News Tonight.
4 organizations come together Wednesday night to host a forum for candidates for the office of Lieutenant Governor. Worcester State League of Women Voters, MAWOCC, and the NAACP welcomed Democratic candidates Quentin Palfrey and Jimmy Tingle. Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito was unable to attend. The forum gave both candidates an opportunity to share their vision for the future of our state and discuss the themes of their campaigns.
Running for Lieutenant Governor at the height of this substance abuse crisis, this opioid crisis in this city, this state, and this country, in large measure to hopefully ensure that when anybody in the state of Massachusetts picks up the phone and reaches out for help, the answer on the other end always will be, you called the right place.
So the themes of my campaign have been the fight against poverty and inequality. I also think that there's a very important role that the state has to play right now during the Trump era, where our values are under attack, where consumer protections and the social safety net are being dismantled.
The primary election will be coming up on September 4th. Quinsigamond Community College and Catholic Charities are teaming up to help students access places to study, computers, and Wi-Fi off campus. This week, a community learning hub was opened at Catholic Charities. According to President of QCC, Louis Pedraja, many of the college's students don't have access to computers, Wi-Fi, or printers at home and may not have the transportation to get to campus. He says this location makes the most sense because about 500 of their students live within 1 mile of it.
The goal is to help our students be successful and to have access to the resources they need to make their education a possibility. But it's also to be present in the community and help the community understand that college is not something that is a pipe dream that is up there in the hill on the other side of town, that is right there and accessible to them, right in the midst of their communities.
QCC opened another learning hub this week as well. It's located at Great Brook Valley. It's been 1 year since the Queen's Cup started baking sweet treats on Water Street in Worcester. The bake shop moved from its location in Millbury, where they were for about 4.5 years. Owner Renee Diaz says since moving to Worcester, they've been able to do more catering and have expanded their menu. She says before they primarily sold cupcakes, but now they have many more options, including whoopie pies, brownies, and pupcakes for dogs.
Being here, in the Canal District, there's so much support from everyone else, and just walk in traffic alone is a lot different. I mean, I grew up in Millbury, so obviously has a special place in my heart, but to be here is definitely a dream come true.
Tomorrow night, they're holding their one-year celebration. They'll have live music from 6 to 8:30, food, and of course, dessert. A gold transaction in Westborough doesn't go as planned. The police department is looking to identify 2 suspects who they say sold fake gold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Our Chandler Walsh has more.
Victims in Westborough discover the 15 kilograms of gold dust they bought is fake.
As you can see, it's all copper and zinc.
The 3 men met 2 suspects who went by the names of Jesse O'Brien and Frank at the Extended Stay America on Computer Drive in Westborough.
Neither party was staying at the hotel. They rented a little conference room with cash for a short period of time.
Video from the victims shows them testing the dust before buying it last month, the dust reading 93% gold. The men paid $26,000 in cash and transferred $280,000 to a bank account. The suspects gave the men a safe with the dust inside and said they would give a combination when the money came through.
At that point, they were given a combination to the safe, which didn't open the safe. So then they called the locksmith.
Once the safe was opened, the dust read 0% gold.
At some point, the suspects switched the real gold with a bag of fake gold.
Rebecca Antilla was staying at the hotel the day of the transaction. She says she saw one of the suspects passing by in the hallway and is shocked by what happened.
He didn't seem suspicious or anything. He just seemed like, another normal guest.
Westborough police are looking to identify the suspects and say the case is an unusual one.
This is unique, that's for sure.
Whether they're con artists or whatever, they're very good at, obviously, what they did to scheme somebody into paying that much money.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
A federal judge is putting a temporary stop on the release of 3D printing blueprints, which could let people print out working guns. Attorney General Maura Healey and 7 others sued to have the blueprints stopped. Our Rosalind Flaherty has more.
A federal judge issues a temporary restraining order to stop the release of blueprints to make untraceable and undetectable 3D printed plastic guns.
Really pleased with last night's win. We went to court to make sure that we're doing everything we can to stop the availability of these 3D plastic guns.
President Donald Trump's administration moved earlier this month to allow a Texas company to post the blueprints online. Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey joined 7 others in a lawsuit Monday to block the federal government's settlement with the company.
We've also called on Congress to act. We need to make sure that these guns are kept out of the hands of criminals and terrorists. And I think most people have been really outraged and surprised to learn that there is this technology.
President Donald Trump tweeting he's looking into the plastic guns being sold to the public and already spoke to the NRA saying, quote, "It doesn't seem to make much sense." Healey says the plastic weapons could go undetected through security checkpoints.
You'd end up with a situation that people who are prohibited under state laws from owning guns, felons, criminals, terrorists, people with serious mental health issues, would have the ability to print these guns.
Technocopia in Worcester has 3D printers. Members can use the machines to create things like toys, games, and home improvement tools. They say people must be buzzed in to help keep track of who is using their equipment.
There's the camera over there, so I see everyone that comes in here before they physically can come in. They have to get through 2 sets of locks. We have only one night of the week where you can have it's called our open hack and craft night. So we have people come in and they can see how the stuff is used, but they can't use it themselves because they're not trained.
Although Healey says she's pleased with the temporary ruling, they have to stay on the fight to make the order permanent. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Attorney General Maura Healey also visiting Girls Inc. in Worcester Wednesday. Girls Inc. is one of 90 organizations across the state receiving grant funding from the AG's Office for Healthy Summer Youth Jobs. Girls Inc. will use the $5,000 in grants to hire camp counselors and lifeguards for the organization's 3 summer camps. They say the funding makes it possible for 300 girls to enjoy camp.
We try to explain on paper and through pictures what we do on a daily basis and the impact we're having on lives, but there is nothing like seeing it firsthand. And for our girls to understand that the funding that comes from the Attorney General's office and other grants is so important and gives them an opportunity to say thank you and give back.
Healy's office is awarding more than $300,000 across Massachusetts.